Well, the my YouTube channel, I'm not an expert, right? Like I would call myself not a beginner, but I wouldn't call myself a newbie, but I wouldn't put myself in a level of expertise where I feel comfortable like selling a course. Like I wouldn't make a course and say, do what I'm doing. I feel like most of my attempts to start websites or to start online money making activities have been experiments, and every one of them I've learned from. And we haven't talked about this, but I have started lots of websites that didn't launch, like just completely failed to launch because I didn't know what I was doing or I needed to gain experience. And so this particular case study is one of those things. And the reason I started it was because last year in about February, I bought John Dykstra's blogging course that was $47 a year, and he's not offering it anymore. And it's sad because it was so great for the money. It wasn't $997. It was $47 for a year, and it was laid out so well and so simple. And I saw it and I was like, I could do this, right? Like I could do this. This is not a funnel, and it's not an autoresponder, and it's not solo ads and all the rest. Like this is just the model of start a website, a simple, good looking theme, a simple domain and not a lot of plugins, and just start creating content, focusing on long tail, low competition keywords with the purpose of monetizing it with display ads, with AdSense or Ezoic or Monumetric whenever you get there. But instead of focusing on money keywords, that the folks who are doing Amazon affiliate stuff with, like look for the informational keywords and then try to get as much traffic as possible, because you're targeting keywords that the marketers, that the money makers, the shakers aren't targeting, because technically they seem like keywords that you couldn't make money from. And so the goal is to build as much traffic as you can and the rest. And I thought, okay, this sounds like a simple plan. I don't need to do anything other than sit down and write blog posts. And so I just basically implemented everything that he said to do in that $47 course. And then my case study, is going back month on month and just tracking. Okay, here's what I managed to post. Here's what sort of traffic I'm seeing. Here's what I'm doing and whether or not that was a good idea. And then just I'm in month 10 of this. So I just uploaded month 10 of this. I started it back in April. And so far, I think the strategy is working. I've gotten to date for this in 10 months, I've had 60,000 page views in 10 months for a brand new site, and the growth of the site basically followed what I expected to see. We talk about whether or not the sandbox exists. Like people say, oh, it does, or oh, it doesn't. But, the first couple months, I didn't see any traffic. And then just over time, I've seen a lot of growth. And now I'm just like kicking myself because I got like 3 months in, right? And you're in the sandbox and, I wasn't seeing a lot of growth. And I published like close to 200 articles, right? Like almost 200 articles in 3 months. Some of it I outsourced because I was experimenting, with some of the things that John talked about in his course. And then at month 3, I ran out of gas. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, I'm not seeing traffic, and obviously I'm not seeing money because I'm not monetizing it with any of their affiliate programs. And I got approved for AdSense right away, like a month away, right? So AdSense is on there, but I've got like 3 or 4 pennies that I made in July. And so I figured I would just put it down and I would be patient, and I went to work on YouTube for a bit. And then I checked back in like September and I wanted to slap myself because, of course, all those articles that I had produced, starting to see traffic. And then, it was really hard to turn the motor on again because I was so involved in YouTube, but just continuing to watch that site grow. And I was like, I better get back on this. So in January, I started creating content for it again. It's like, okay, this is a long-term asset, right? It's not like something that I'm just going to turn and flip tomorrow, something that I'm hoping to build and build and build and hang on to for a while until I can get it to someplace where I want to sell it, or if it's just something that earns money every month. So.
And can you share the traffic for last month, which would be January of 2020?
Sure. I had, 16,000 users and just over 17,000 page views. A lot of people are coming to the site and getting their questions answered. And then I'm having to work on strategies to keep them on the site because a lot of it is informational, right? They go there and they get the answer to the question, and then they're not that interested in going into the rest of the site. So, I have the related post plugin, which seems to be only kind of effective. A lot of people go to the homepage which I think is unusual because a lot of people just bounce right back. But I'm seeing a lot of people clicking on the logo to go back to home and looking at the front page. So I'm working on creating kind of, I put up my air quotes, like binge worthy content on the homepage to say, okay, if somebody went there, maybe they wouldn't find that content with the Google search, but maybe it would be clickbaity enough and good enough where they would click on it and then stay to try to improve those other Google Analytics metrics, like the bounce rate and the time on site and all that stuff. So that's actually what I'm working on in the last couple of days is putting up more of like a journal that isn't really going to be found with organic search, but it's something that people see that and they're like, oh, that's interesting. It's maybe I wouldn't have found it any other way, but maybe it will suck them in. And I guess I'll just see if anybody actually clicks on those posts, or not, because I'll know, if they were there or not.
That's smart.